Why, hello again. This is Mr. Lobo, and I'm here to talk about Garbage Pail Kids. What a phenomenon they were and still are. Before we review, or just view, we'll have a retro review of these cards. But first I'd like to do a little backstory, maybe a rewind, review, preview, rewind, retro, backstory on trading cards in general. Mr. Lobo grew up loving trading cards. No, not the sports ball trading cards. As you can tell, Mr. Lobo didn't grow up with a dad around the house. So we liked movie cards. Star Wars was the big movie trading card. And the other kind of trading cards I like were the gross out trading cards. And one of the best lines ever was from Topps. It was the wacky packages. And they were like famous brands, famous products that you might know. Only it was a cartoon of the packaging that was super gross. Like instead of Rice Krispies, it might be Lice Krispies, you know, or instead of Cool Whip, it would be Ghoul Whip or whatever. And it was a great thing. You put them on your toy box, you put them on your binder, and you gross out the girls at school. And that was kind of the function of those cards. And with Topps, this was big money for them. Creating these gross cards was like big money. And the first thing they did was Civil War cards. And it was like, you know, doctors sawing off people's legs and stuff. And then they did Mars Attacks famously. And it was just like people's dogs getting set on fire by aliens and, you know, giant insects eating people, you know, controlled by aliens. And so in this going forward with this into the 80s, wacky packages were enormously popular. And there was a toy that hit the scene called Cabbage Patch Kids. And Cabbage Patch Kids was the most popular toy for girls in the early 1980s. Enormously huge. I mean, parents were fist fighting each other. There was the preliminary Tickle Me Elmo or whatever, where parents were literally beating each other up in the aisles to get the first Cabbage Patch Kids. And boys were left out of this. I mean, I guess the Star Wars toys were the huge phenomenon at that time in boys' toys. And again, girls play with Cabbage Patch Kids and Star Wars toys, and I'm sure there's plenty of boys who played with Cabbage Patch Kids or Star Wars toys. I'm not trying to make this girl toys versus boy toys, but stereotypically, girls like to annoy their brothers with their dollies, and boys like to annoy their sisters with something gross. And capitalizing on this, one of the artists from Wacky Packages did a parody of Garbage Pail Kids for one of the Wacky Packages cards. And someone at Topps said, this could be a whole line by itself. You know, this is a great concept. We could just have a bunch of ugly baby dolls with various gross out aspects to them. And that was the life in the beginning of Garbage Pail Kids trading cards, which were a huge phenomenon in the late 80s. And we were going to try to open for you some trading cards from the original series. And, you know, some of these collectors wanted like $4,000 for these packages, unopened packages of 1980s Garbage Pail Kids cards. And they probably would get sick to know that we would just open them right up. Our budget has allowed us to get a couple of these newer packages. This is the Battle of the Bands series of Garbage Pail Kids cards. And by the way, this is Atom Bomb, one of the original Garbage Pail Kids trading cards. They did several cards with this character. One had an alternate name, and I can't remember what it is. He's my favorite by far. He had a little button that he pressed, a little red button. And he's dressed like there's one where he's at the, he's sitting at the Oval Office and he's pressing the red button. And that's what he's supposed to have in his hand, is a little box with a red button. While Paul is looking up to see what Atom Bomb's other name is, I guess we'll go and get right into this first package of these brand new, not vintage, but brand new Garbage Pail Kids. Again, still vital today. People are still into them. and a phenomenon unto itself, even though it was based on Cabbage Patch Kids dolls. Now, Cabbage Patch Kids originally, I guess, sued Topps, and so they had to make them look less like the Cabbage Patch Kids. So if you look at them now, you notice that their faces and stuff don't as closely resemble a Cabbage Patch Kid's face with the little dimples and everything like they used to. This is Bashing Billy, okay, and it is an image of a guy smashing a guitar, kind of like a rock star, smashing his guitar at the end of the concert, but he's smashing a bunch of pumpkins. So what, it's a 90s rock reference too, right? But it looks like he's smashing pumpkins with his guitar. This next one is called Raw Rivers. Raw Rivers. And Raw Rivers looks like he's wrapped up in a little sushi and he's going to get eaten. Okay, so they're obviously running out of ideas for the Garbage Pail Kids. After 30 years, they finally run out of ideas. This one's called Monarch Michael, which is a play on King of Pop, who famously was Michael Jackson. This is an image of Michael Jackson, but he's sitting on a golden toilet. So he is Monarch Michael sitting on a golden toilet with a golden plunger. So I guess the gross out part, is the gross out part that it's just Michael Jackson, or is the gross out part that he's sitting on a golden toilet? Or is it all the above? This next one here is called Daft Paul. See that? So he is, this is a spoof of Daft Punk, the band Daft Punk. And they're taking off their famous robot helmets. They just recorded a song with Paul Williams, and now they're taking off their helmets. And they're gross underneath. Big shock. They got no skin on their heads. Scary Perry, right? So this is Katy Perry, I guess, a spoof of Katy Perry. But the top of her head is exploding, and there's fireworks coming out of the top of her head. And this one is Pete Puppets. Pete Puppets? And I don't know what rock band that is. You know who that's supposed to be, or what? Meat Puppets. Meat Puppets? Instead of, is that a band? Meat Puppets? Meat Puppets was a band in the 90s. Okay, so this is Pete Puppets. This is Beastly Brent. Beastly Brent, and it looks like it's a mastodon or a mammoth is impaling these guys' heads. But I don't know what band that might be. And this one's called Barf and Billy. So it's a bunch of rock stars throwing up. Like they do. I mean, that's just what rock stars do, is barf everywhere. And I don't know if these are specifically supposed to be, that's supposed to be Billy Joel, or it says New Wave and Punk sticker. Is Billy Joel New Wave? No, but it looks like is that Green Day? Is it Green Day? Lead singer's Billy. Oh, could be Green Day, and then they're throwing up green everywhere. That our clue that it's Green Day. The backs are very simple. This is alternative sticker, pop sticker. So these are all stickers. So I think it's just denoting which series of sticker it is. Metal sticker, New Wave, and Punk sticker. So we're both making fun of a line of dolls from the 80s, and we're making fun of rock bands. People go, oh, Garbage Pail Kids aren't cool anymore. Oh yeah? The kids like the rock and roll, don't they? And they showed them by making music cards. See, they're not passe. They're with it, with the young people. The kids like the rock and roll. This is Mega Seth instead of Mega Death, right? I'm assuming. This one is Freaky Frank. Is that Frank Zappa? I can't see who. Look, he's got the Lobo facial hair, so it must be Frank Zappa. There was someone who said that they used to call this a Zappa, but now they call it a Mr. Lobo. That was like one of the nicest compliments I ever got. Certainly one of our most original musicians, and really he was gross just by himself. He didn't need anybody to make him gross. His stuff was funny and gross on purpose. He was a very fun, humorous musician. In fact, a lot of musicians didn't like Frank Zappa because he wasn't serious enough. He was intelligent, hyper intelligent, but he was very irreverent. This guy, oh, this is the guy from AC/DC getting a wrecking ball to the crotch. Is that what I'm seeing here? And it says Aching Angus, guitarist from the guy
Malcolm's the singer.
jumping around in the schoolboy outfit.
And there's one of their songs is Big Balls.
That's right. He's got the biggest balls of them all. And then this one's really super gross, upsetting. I don't even know what it's about yet. Ed Sheeran. So he's shearing his face. Is Ed Sheeran a person in music?
Yeah, he's a big current musician.
Big current musician. Thank you.
Also briefly on Game of Thrones.
Also briefly on Game of Thrones. Ed Sheeran. I'm imagining like a whole like boardroom full of people like approving or unapproving lists. Like, okay, well, he's on Game of Thrones and he's a big current musician, so yes, I'll approve this artwork. Go ahead. Go green light the Ed Sheeran card. And right here is Flaming Liam, is what it says. I'm seeing Lips. Flaming Lips is a band, right? So maybe this is referencing Flaming Lips. I don't know. I'm not a music guy. Not a sports guy. I'm just a guy. Sort of. He's got a necktie with a bunch of mouths on it, which just makes me think of there must be something, some clue as to what that is. And then he's got fire coming out of his face, or his lips, I guess. And then he's got wild gray hair. This is Jacked Up Jagger. So this is obviously Mick Jagger. We finally found something old enough to where Mr. Lobo knows what it is. This is a gross out version of Mick Jagger, and boy is it gross. He's got the sort of lips, the Rolling Stones logo lips, and he's drooling everywhere, and it's gross. This right here is Piano Manny. So we're thinking that's Billy Joel. And I think it's the old gag from the cartoons or whatever, when the cover for the keys on the piano drops down and chops your fingers off or chops your hands off. And that's what's happening here to I think Billy Joel, most likely Billy Joel as the Piano Man. Play me a song for the Piano Man. He's got bread in his jar. It's all part of that. That whole song is unfolding in that one card. This is Furry Furler. And this is someone who's got hair, long hair, two-tone hair, sort of Corella de Vil-ish, kind of one side is one color, other side is another color. Is this a current pop sensation?
It's the marking on the back.
Pop. And she's got half black hair and half blonde hair. And then you can't see her face, and she's got a giant bow on her head. And then this. All right, so this is what we got. We got two. I mean, I don't know how much these cost, but you get a good amount, and they're all $2 a piece. I feel like that's a good price. I mean, I think they were originally, when we were kids, I want to say they were 50 cents maybe for a pack of Garbage Pail Kids, perhaps. Could be a quarter, but I don't know. The ones that were all stickers were more expensive than the ones that were cards and a sticker. So I'm not sure if the all sticker ones were 50 cents and when the ones that were 5 stickers in a card or 6, I don't know how that works. How many stickers, how many cards? I don't remember. 5 cards in a sticker, not 5 stickers in a card. That's ridiculous. But $2 is pretty reasonable, and stickers are not cheap to print. So you get quite a bit there. Mr. Lobo would not be straight with you if I told you that was all there was. In all honesty, there is more. There is a lot more. And I'd like to share these 2 new ones. I have 2 more sets with you. You can see this. This is the more value, the great value pack. Find these in the freezer section. This is the family size. There are more cards in these ones. And it looks like it's more of the band's one. So now I get to embarrass myself more with how little I know about music.
Is this what you were expecting when you got to Garbage Pail Kids? It's like, I'm going to revisit the 80s. I'm going to go back to my childhood. I feel
So old. Just a simple video. Just throw some content up there. Just a simple video. Simple, easy,
be retro. We'll feel
easy,
so
fun.
young.
We'll
be
feel so
living our childhood.
feel so young.
Who the fuck are these people?
Yeah. This last one is the most terrifying of them all. If you hold it up to the light, you can see we get a light behind this. I don't know if you can see it. You can see the anti-theft device. Prevent you from returning them. An alarm goes off. No, you have to keep those. But yeah, this is, if you can see it, there's a little rectangle here, or a square with circuitry or something in it. And I feel like as much as this costs, just let them steal it. For God's sakes. You know? Kids have to learn about shoplifting eventually.
Before you go on,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Adam Bomb is Blasted Billy.
Oh, okay. Blasted Billy is
the
alternate name for this guy, Adam Bomb.
And if you have Adam Bomb or Blasted Billy, I think it's Adam Bomb particularly, it's like a $4,000 card.
Really? I think I have one somewhere. Can we just sell it? Can we fund the show on my old Adam Bomb card?